He sat down in a California prison hearing room, looking restless after years in a cell. Charles Manson was about to face yet another parole hearing, but instead of remorse, he gave the panel excuses, diversions, and even bizarre comparisons. What happens when one of the most notorious criminals in America tries to out-talk the parole board? You'll see a rare panel pushback, Manson's strange self-defense, and a glimpse at why freedom was never in reach. If real justice stories hook you, tap subscribe and like now. The year is 1992. Manson has already been in prison for 2 decades after his death sentence was reduced to life. He's been through 9 parole hearings before, each one ending in denial. This time, the board is back at Courtroom State Prison. The commissioners lay out the crimes: conspiracy and first-degree murder across multiple counts. Their job is to decide if Manson can ever re-enter society. Watch how he responds when asked about the official record of his crimes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Manson. Would you have a seat, please? We are on record. These hearings are being taped, Mr. Manson, so if you would answer up so that it will be recorded, please. This is a subsequent parole consideration hearing for Charles Manson, B33920, received California Department of Corrections on April the 22nd, 1971, pursuant to Penal Code Section 1168 for violation of Section 187 of the California Penal Code, first-degree murder counts 1 through 7, and 182.1/187, conspiracy to commit murder, count 8, stayed, Los Angeles County case number A253156. On February 2nd, 1977, the sentence was changed in case number A253156 from death to life pursuant to Court of Appeal. The prisoner was additionally received on December 13, 1971 for violation of PC 187, first-degree murder, concurred with prior term, Los Angeles County case number A267861, count 1, counts 2 and 3 of case number A267861, in violation of PC 182.1/187/211 and 187, conspiracy to commit murder and robbery and first-degree murder were stayed. The controlling minimum eligible parole date was December 13th, 1978. Today's date is April the 22nd, 1971. The time is now 13:32 hours, and we are at the Courtroom State Prison. For participants in today's hearing are Commissioners Koenig and Aceto and Deputy Commissioner Brown. Representing the prisoner has declined an attorney, a state-represented attorney or an attorney of his own. Representing the people of the County of Los Angeles is Stephen Kay. We also have several members of the news media attending the hearing today, and the CNPR and Assistant CNPR.
Commissioners read the rules clearly. No witnesses, a set process, and the crimes accepted as fact. But Manson immediately pushes back. He interrupts, questions documents, and claims it's all hearsay. Instead of reflecting on the past, he challenges the paperwork itself. And that tone sets the stage for the rest of this tense hearing.
The 21st, 1992. Thank you. Shortly before midnight on August, and I'm reading from the second page of the board report dated 12/1/82. Shortly before midnight on August 8, 1969, the prisoner informed his crime partners that now was the time for helter-skelter. The crime partners were directed to accompany Charles Watson to carry out the orders given by the prisoner. The crime partners at the time were Lindo Kassadian, Susan Atkins, and Patricia Krinwinkle. As the crime partners were in the car getting ready to leave the area, the prisoner informed them, "You girls know what I mean," something witchy, instructing them to leave a sign. Crime partner Watson drove directly to 10050 Cellular Drive, where he stopped the car. Linda Kasabian held 3 knives and 1 gun during the trip. Watson then cut the overhead telephone wires at the scene and parked the vehicle.
Excuse me, where are we getting this from?
This is from the board report dated 12/1/82. Do you have a copy of that?
No, I don't. Whose signature is on the end of that?
This is a board report. This is the hearing that was held at that particular time, and this was the reading of the incident offense at that particular time.
That sounds like a book.
Well, if you'll listen and then you can make corrections, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Crime partner Atkins and Krenwinkel had been in the back seat with Linda Kasabian, a passenger in the right front seat. Watson then carried some rope over the hill into the outer premises of 10050 Celio Drive. A vehicle containing victim Stephen Parent approached the gate opening into the street. Watson stopped him at gunpoint, and Parent stated, "Please don't hurt me, I won't say anything." Watson shot Parent 5 times and turned off the ignition of his car. All of the crime partners then proceeded to the house where Watson cut a window screen. Linda Kasabian acted as a lookout while another female crime partner entered the residence through an open window and admitted the other crime partners. Within the residence, the prisoners' crime partners, without provocation, logic, or reason, murdered April Abigail Ann Folger by inflicting a total of 28 multiple stab wounds on her body. Victim was victim Foyket. Count 2 was killed by multiple stab wounds, a gunshot wound to his left back, and multiple forced trauma of blunt nature to the head. Victim Sharon Tate Polanski was killed with multiple stab wounds. Victim Jay Sebring was killed by multiple stab wounds. On August 10, 1969, the prisoner drove his crime partners to a location near the residence of victim Lino and Rosemary LaBianca. The prisoner entered the LaBianca home alone at gunpoint and tied up the victims. He impressed them with the statement that they would not be harmed and that a robbery was taking place. He then returned to the vehicle containing his crime partners and directed them to enter the residence.
Here the board reads aloud the horrific crimes. Murders at the Tate and LaBianca homes. Victims tied up, attacked, and left with chilling messages scrawled in blood. Manson listens, then says simply, "We could correct the whole thing." His words sidestep responsibility and minimize the details. And viewers notice. Many were furious at his dismissive shrug.
Okay, do you remember what I said at the beginning of the hearing? I said that we accept as true the court findings in the case. The fact that you were found guilty and you are guilty of those particular murders. If there's any change or anything you want to say about
So all of that is reality to you?
Yes, we accept as true.
And either if it never happened, it's still reality to you?
Yes, because you were found guilty by the court of law.
Okay. And all the things that in that courtroom, that went through that courtroom, is reality to you?
Yes. Okay. Accept as true.
Now let me just say one thing.
Okay.
9 black Muslims and 3 Mexicans signed a writ that said I was Jesus Christ. Is that reality to you?
I didn't read that in the report.
It's in the record. I mean, you know.
We have your C file and all the reports are made available to us.
Okay.
And I think we know most of it, but that's the reason for the hearing, Mr. Manson, that you can bring these things out if you wish.
I think if you look in your own mind, for every point, there's a counterpoint. For every red, there's a black. For every black, there's a red. In other words, what you're making me into in your reports so that you can write your books and do your Rambo trips and make your movies for public entertainment is not really what happened. And what happened could have been explained, but if you will allow me to call a witness.
No, we do not allow witnesses in here.
I mean, it's within the panel. I'd like to question that man in front of the panel.
We do not allow that, Mr. Manson. We have a procedure that we follow. Now, if you want to tell about the crime, then go ahead and tell about the crime. Otherwise,
then I will say it, and then if it isn't true, he can interrupt it through you, and then we can talk through you. Is that legal?
You may.
It says here that I can call witnesses on this paper here.
No.
This says I got these rights to do that.
No, you do not. If you would please respond to either any additions or corrections to the incident offense that I just read.
Yeah, I didn't tie anybody up.
Okay.
I was never on the scene when anyone was killed. I think the law says you can only keep me 17 years or 18 years if I was never on the scene when anyone was killed. I was never on.
When pressed, Manson insists he was never at the crime scenes. The closest he admits? Cutting Gary Hinman's ear in a fight. It's a pattern. He distances himself from every murder while acknowledging just enough violence to sound hardened. But listen closely. The panel isn't buying it.
A motive to throw up on top of all that confusion he had. There was no such thing in my mind as Helter Skelter. Helter Skelter was a song, and it was a nightclub. We opened up a little after-hours nightclub to make some money and play some music and do some dancing and singing and play some stuff to make some money for dune buggies to go out in the desert. And we called the club Helter Skelter. It was a Helter Skelter club because we would be there, and when the cops would come, we'd all melt into other dimensions because it wasn't licensed to be anything in particular. and it was kind of like a speakeasy back in the moonshine days behind the movie set. And I'm an outlaw. They're right there, you know. And I'm a gangster, and I'm bad, and I'm all the things that I want to be. I'm pretty free within myself. I cut people and I shoot them, and I do whatever I have to do to survive in the world.
Manson claims Helter Skelter was just the name of a nightclub, not a motive. He spins stories of doom buggies, music, and outlaws. But to prosecutors and families, this was never entertainment. The words Helter Skelter will forever be tied to one of America's darkest crimes.
Every time I go to these committees, I'll wait 2 or 3 years for you. And I'll sit in a cell and stare at the wall for 2 or 3 years, just waiting for you people. And then when you get here, you can't even give me 5 minutes. You're in such a rush, you know.
And what
you have to slow down with my mind and to see where your mind is.
You're right.
Let me say this: the courtroom Charles Oldner would not have been sitting on that bench had I not went in the courtroom. So we're kind of like married in this thought together. Like we're together whether we want to be here together or not. You know, we're stuck in this madness. You know, I don't want this job. I'm not getting paid very much. You know, and you're certainly going to get paid if you take your time. So give me a time to finish what I was trying to do, will you, please?
Is it on the crime, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's the very same thing that you read.
Okay.
You know, I kind of anticipated what you were going to say because you've been saying the same thing for 20 years.
All right.
This has grown so much that the people living in my life have moved in with uniforms and penitentiaries. They built whole penitentiaries in the fear that they've generated off of this case. So the public can feel safe against this monster. We're going to charge you $200 million to build another set of penitentiaries.
Notice his frustration here. He complains he waits years in a cell just to be rushed through hearings. He demands more time, more attention. But parole isn't about his comfort. It's about whether society could ever be safe with him outside prison walls.
Mr. Manson.
So people living in my life, they don't care whether I broke the law or not. They'll make up a lot of things and sell a lot of books, 58 of them to be exact, and billions of dollars have been made, and it's okay if I have to spend my life in prison. Let me finish. Just to hold me, because I've shown you some strong strength, and I haven't surrendered to this by copying out to you or telling tales on someone else or playing weak. You've medicated me, you've burnt me, you've beat me, you've stabbed me, you've done everything you can do to me, and I'm still here, and you're still going to have to face the truth.
If this shocks you, what comes next will floor you. Stick with me. Hit subscribe so you never miss real courtroom turns.
March 14th, 1992, threatening staff. On 3/14/92 at approximately 15:10 hours while conducting my duties as floor officer, I was sweeping the upper tier of A section with inmate Manson, B3392, verbally demanded I go out to the shoe yard and clear the showers now, because they clean the showers now because in his opinion they're dirty. I informed inmate Manson that I wouldn't have time to clean them today. Inmate Manson began to call me a liar and a treacherous bitch. Inmate Manson also stated I would like to break all the bones in your body, starting with your elbow, working down to your knees. Then inmate Manson stated, tell that man up there, the control booth operator, to open the cell door and let me beat you into submission so that you'll be under my power. Do you recall that? Threatening staff?
Do I get to explain?
You want to explain that?
Yeah.
You got it. Go ahead.
Prison is a treacherous place to live in. You miss one move and you get stabbed. You got to be aware of everything that goes on. There's nothing that you can overlook. You got to be aware of your air and the ventilator that you breathe, because if you got emphysema and a ninja warrior gets in your air, he can stop your air. So out in the shower area, they got some rust that's coming out of the pipes, and this rust is building up, and it looks just exactly like instant coffee. If you take a spoonful of that rust and you mix it in with instant coffee and you give
The
some...
board highlights his prison record. About 60 disciplinary write-ups. Threats, weapons, disrespect toward staff. Manson defends himself with rambling metaphors about coffee, rust, and danger in the showers. Instead of showing reform, he reveals constant conflict. Many viewers said this was proof he'd never changed.
All day.
You got it.
The second one, February the 1st, 1992, written by an officer by the name of Bass. You told her, Bass, you're a fucking punk. She attempted to counsel. You stated, Bass, open this fucking door, and I'll take that stick away from you and beat your ass with it. We got another one. February the 10th, 1992. officer by the name of Mooney. Came verbally abusive, saying, "Get your nose out of my ass, you bitch." When I attempted to proceed with CDC 115, Manson exposed his penis and said, "Suck my dick, you black bitch, you're nothing but a witch." Manson then proceeded to spit on him. Now, you may go ahead and conclude your statement that you were making about why this kind of behavior keeps going on, as far as you're concerned.
Prison is a place where they keep men. They chew tobacco, they spit, they cuss, they do bad things. They ride horses, they fall down. It's not a place where women should be working. Women come in here, we're sitting on the toilet, we have to bear down and take our clothes off and bend over and show our private parts.
When confronted with his abusive words toward staff, Manson leans into a worldview of domination, claiming women shouldn't work in prisons and boasting that he doesn't back down. It's arrogance, not remorse. And every line pulls him further from any chance of parole.
This is take 2 in the case of Charles Manson, April 21st, 1992, California State Prison, Courtroom, California. You're going to proceed to your psychiatric evaluations. You don't have one, you have one for this year, but you didn't have one completed for the Board of Prison terms specifically. Bruce T. Reed, REED, PhD, clinical psychologist, went over to see you on February the 19th, and you refused to be evaluated. Any reason why?
Yeah, I had 2 other doctors trying to evaluate me at the same time. I can't write that many books.
What doctors were trying to interview you?
Well, see, the front side, you see the doctor coming to me to give me help. The back side, he gathers information and goes to Turkey. He's over in France writing books about psychotherapy or group therapy.
Which doctors came to visit you at the time Dr. Reed tried to get in?
I think Dr. Christopherson, Dr. White.
Where are they from?
Right here. Since then, I think Christopherson's been fired for ethics violation of some sort. Then there's Willis, Dr. Willis.
Willis came over to see you this...
Willis has been my psychiatrist. We went through, if you'll check the record, we went through 2...
Next, the board brings up psychiatric evaluations. One doctor noted paranoia and delusional thinking. Manson refused most interviews, accusing doctors of writing books off his life. To him, every evaluation is a conspiracy. To the panel, it's one more reason to deny freedom.
Change in Charles Manson.
I change all the time, sir. Every day I'm in change.
Well, I can't measure that. You have to tell me.
Can I ask you a couple questions? What did you do before this? So I know what foundation I'm in your mind where I can speak to you from. You got any jurisprudence? You got any correctional officer experience or policeman or what?
I don't think you need to know that. All you need
Can
to
I
know
ask
is...
you?
No, just answer the
All
question.
you need to know is that I'm sitting on this panel today.
Okay, well, we'll go to the judge. The judge sits on the bench and he takes in his mind crime. It comes to him for judgment. It goes through his understanding, and he watches it judge itself. The judge really doesn't judge it. He judges, he lets the district attorney and it passes through his understanding. He does this 6 hours a day, 7 days a week, 5 days a week. He retires 65 years old. He's done that for 8,000 hours. I've done the same thing all my life, 24 hours a day, so I'm about 15 Supreme Court judges in my mind.
Finally, the commissioners ask the most basic question. What has he done in prison to show he's changed? Manson offers no real answer. He calls himself the smartest guy in the world, but gives nothing concrete. No programs, no work, no growth. This is where arrogance finally meets a gavel.
In other words, I know more about law than anybody in the world. I know more about courts and procedures and criminology and penology and procedure than any card sharp dealing doubles off the bench in Monte Carlo. I know more about the economy, more about money, more about the government than any 10 presidents you got. You know, in other words, I've sat in solitary confinement and I watched everything you guys do. And the truth is, you're all lying to yourselves, you know, and like...
Mr. Manson, you're not answering Mr. Brown's question.
I'm not?
No, he asked you, what have you done in the institution to show the Board of Prison Terms and society that you've changed?
Well, I'm real with you. I don't pretend. I'm not bringing you a bunch of phony garbage. I'm not trying to tell you that I'm a good guy. I'm just myself, whatever that is. I believe in God, and I do the best I can every day by everybody I can. You know, when something bad comes up, I react bad to it. You know, I can fight. I can't read and write too good, but boy, I can fight. You wouldn't believe how I can fight, because I've been fighting all my life to survive, and I live right on that edge of survival. You know, I just survive. I play a little music when I'm allowed to. I draw real good, but it took my pencils. Everything I do, if I can do it real good, they'll take it away from me. I used to make little dolls with string, then he come took the string. So I'm not allowed to do anything. I'm not allowed to have any clothes. I haven't combed my hair in 2-3 years. You know, I can't comb my hair. I can't do anything.
Have you been involved in any psychiatric intervention?
Yeah. I've seen more doctors than doctors have seen inmates. I was Dr. Nickel there in the back alley over there in Vacaville, in the rec shack.
Was this in a therapy setting?
Well, I guess you could call it a therapy setting. I was handling all the crazy people and taking care of the kids in the visiting room and hoeing in the garden in the chapel.
Was anybody doing anything?
No, everybody was doing what I told them.
No. Were any of the therapists doing anything to assist you in your life?
No, it was me doing it for them. I had to look out for the veterans, just came back in the war, and all the wheelchairs and all the doctors. They have a lot of Vietnamese doctors come in, couldn't speak English. So I had to get the medication for all straightened around for that, you know, because my life at the bottom, I got to look out for everybody else's life too, or I can't get on through what I'm trying to do. I like to play music, but they took my music away, and I took my guitar away. That's the only thing I do. I play music. But they're scared of that. Anything I do, they're getting afraid of.
Arrogance finally met a gavel. Manson's parole was denied, just as it always would be, until his death behind bars. Was the sentence fair? Did his excuses and smirks change your view? Should his troubled childhood or claims of not being at the scene matter? Drop your take below, like the video, and subscribe for the next case.